During a covert early morning raid, the FBI made a shocking discovery hidden beneath the residence of Christian King Combs, son of Diddy. What caused the federal investigative team to momentarily stop and gather themselves wasn't drugs or weapons, but rather a disturbing archive, a list of underage artists, invitations to secret gatherings, a series of manipulative email exchanges, and numerous hard drives encrypted with top-level security protocols. At first, the operation was believed to involve only financial misconduct. However, the investigation quickly widened to reveal what appeared to be a sophisticated network, one linked to the exploitation of minors, the concealment of critical information, and the abuse of power within the entertainment industry. This raised an unsettling question that began to echo through the public consciousness: who is Diddy behind the stage lights? A cultural icon, or the mastermind behind a shadow machine that America has woefully ignored for years? The mansion where the discovery was made sits quietly on the hillsides of Beverly Hills, Los Angeles. Outwardly, Christian Combs has always maintained a polished, fashionable image, following in the musical footsteps of his father. But beneath that image lies a far darker reality. This residence, rather than simply being a luxurious home, concealed secrets so alarming that federal authorities immediately escalated the case to an investigation of transnational organized crime. During a 3-hour search of the ground floor and common areas, FBI agents identified an anomaly hidden behind the wood paneling in the library, a small crack at the base of the wall and a narrow gap between two bookshelves. After confirming that there was no alarm system, agents breached the wall and discovered a hidden elevator, a device that was not included in the building's official architectural blueprints. In 2012, an architectural blueprint submitted to the Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety contained a remarkable detail: an elevator leading to a secret basement sealed by a 20 centimeters thick steel door with biometric locks. Intriguingly, the fingerprint used to unlock it did not match any known members of the Combs family. This immediately raised the question: who had access to this area, and why was a level of security typically reserved for war bunkers being used? Once opened, automatic lights revealed a room divided into 3 zones: document storage, digital equipment, and a secure vault. Document storage area. Agents discovered at least 9 classified file folders labeled with color codes and marked private. One document alone, nearly 600 pages thick, listed about 80 names, mostly child performers aged 12 to 14. Each profile included personal photos, bios, school records, but guardian information was often redacted or missing. According to the FBI, these aren't talent files, they read more like a menu for selection. Digital Equipment Zone, a modular safe held over 40 invitations to secret gatherings. The cards listed only date, time, a QR code, and cryptic titles like Night of Discovery, Internal Cast, or Light Party. Some invitations bore verified logos matching that of the nonprofit Hoppier Foundation, an organization publicly promoted by Diddy in multiple interviews. National Security Flag, a printed series of emails from an address associated with Diddy's known alias Mr. Love 202828@gmail.com, included a message dated March 28, 2023. It instructed, pick 3. Make sure they're compliant and won't resist. New ones are easier to manage. Don't pick anyone who came with family. I'll send gifts. The recipient, encoded as SB, was traced via IP logs to Pulsine Entertainment, a media firm into which Diddy had invested tens of millions in digital hardware. Seized digital devices, 4 BitLocker encrypted SSDs and 3 hand-labeled USBs were discovered. One USB was labeled Panic, and preliminary scans revealed over 600 video files in .ov and .mkv formats, stripped of metadata. An FBI tech analyst stated, "The content is extremely disturbing. I can't describe it due to its sensitive nature, but it's enough to initiate charges for child exploitation." All drives were immediately sealed and transferred to the Digital Forensics Lab in Quantico. Hidden wealth and stolen goods. $820,000 in cash was found hidden in sneaker boxes, Chanel handbags, and Rolex watch cases. A second vault contained 26 luxury watches, including a diamond-encrusted model valued at over $560,000. previously reported stolen in a 2021 Hollywood Hills burglary. Additional jewelry matched LAPD reports from high-end thefts between 2019 and 2022. Private jet contracts and financial trail. A 21-month private jet lease signed by Janice Combs was paid via an art foundation based in Qatar. Preliminary financial tracking showed that this group had transferred over $4.8 million to Bad Boy Entertainment subsidiaries over the last 2 years, supposedly funding international youth performance programs. Dr. Jordan Kessler, a criminal behavior expert with the U.S. Institute for Legal and Child Studies, commented, "If what the FBI uncovered is true, and it appears to be, then this is no longer just a scandal. This is the opening chapter of a sophisticated operation using art as a front for transnational crime and child exploitation." Family under scrutiny. Following the FBI raid, Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, legal owner of the estate, was calmly escorted from the residence. She refused to answer press questions. Her legal team later claimed she had no knowledge of the underground room or its contents. Neighbors began speaking out. One man, 3 houses away, reported flashing lights from beneath the home on multiple nights, even when the house appeared dark. Another resident recalled frequent sightings of black cars at 3 to 4 a.m., driven by strangers who didn't resemble Diddy's known associates. Justin Combs, Diddy's eldest son, just 2 hours after the site was sealed, call logs show Justin contacted the family's lawyer. Shockingly, a source at Diddy's media company claimed Justin also wiped his personal cloud storage that same morning, something you only do when you know you're about to be publicly investigated. Though always seen as the clean-cut, educated heir, this image only deepened FBI suspicion. Sometimes the cleanest image is the most effective mask. Associated celebrities under review. Some of Diddy's longtime associates were subpoenaed after their names appeared on private event invites from 2019. While no direct evidence yet links them to criminal activity, their presence is under review. Ray J, frequently spotted at Diddy's parties, has denied involvement. However, photos retrieved from seized hard drives show him attending at least one 2021 event. An investigator noted, "You can't indict someone over a photo, but no one is exempt from questioning." Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend of nearly a decade, has re-entered public attention, although no known links tie her to his recent life. Still, some images from the digital files brought her name back into the spotlight. The equipment found in the basement indicated that a previously unnamed woman had attended private events either at the mansion itself or at affiliated locations. Her exact role remains unclear, whether she was a victim, a witness, or an accomplice. However, according to internal sources, the FBI is approaching her as a potentially key witness, someone who could unlock hidden layers of this complex case. The investigation took an even more intense turn with the emergence of a mysterious figure, an ex-bodyguard known only by the codename Red Echo. He voluntarily contacted investigators shortly after news of the raid broke. In his testimony, he stated, "I stood watch countless nights outside Ms. Janice's mansion. That place wasn't just a home, it was a drop point, a sanctuary for things that couldn't see the light of day." Red Echo, believed to have worked for Diddy for nearly 7 years, possesses detailed information about celebrity visits and operations at the estate. He is currently under federal witness protection. As each name is called and each familiar face stripped from the glamour of stardom, a chilling realization emerges: this network was not built by one person alone. It was sustained by an ecosystem where power, silence, and fame served as an impenetrable shield. But now, that shield is cracking, and the public has made it clear that silence will no longer be tolerated. What makes this case truly frightening isn't any one piece of evidence on its own, it's how perfectly all the fragments fit together, forming a long-running, meticulously engineered system. Once enough evidence was gathered, the FBI no longer viewed this as a case of isolated criminal activity, but rather as a structured, hierarchical operation, effectively a modern-day mafia disguised as an entertainment network nurturing young talent. It all began with private celebrity parties, a common occurrence in the entertainment world. But the events described in the seized documents were far from ordinary. These gatherings weren't public, weren't held at typical venues, and were accessible only to insiders. Each party had a unique alphanumeric code printed on the invitation and logged in associated digital files. These codes matched specific profiles containing guest lists, logistics personnel, arrival and departure times, even risk assessments in case of exposure. One especially alarming detail was the stratification of guests. According to investigators, there was a clear hierarchy. VIPs, often investors, music industry elites, or political figures, formed the inner circle close to Diddy, with several already identified. Then came the younger individuals, labeled opening performers, yet with no formal contracts, licenses, or legal guardians. These youths didn't arrive by chance, they were funneled through a carefully orchestrated recruitment system. The public face of this recruitment effort was a nonprofit organization called the Tanya R Foundation, reportedly founded 5 years ago to train young artists from minority communities. However, investigations revealed it had held no public showcases, maintained no community outreach records, and was primarily funded by anonymous sources. Following the mansion raid, Tanya R., the woman listed as the foundation's executive director, vanished from her last known address. A prevailing theory now being pursued is that Tanya served as a gatekeeper, ushering in selected individuals under the guise of private casting sessions. But the network's reach extended far beyond domestic borders. Several emails and financial documents revealed that many events were backed by foreign transactions, linked to entities in the Middle East and the Caribbean. While labeled as support for international arts development or youth talent collaboration, these funds have raised suspicions of a transnational trafficking ring cloaked beneath the facade of cultural exchange. Accounts traced from the seized files belong to shell companies controlled by Diddy's associates. This foreign involvement has escalated the case from a domestic crime to an international trafficking network disguised as cultural or entertainment programs. A signature feature of this scheme is its capacity to stay hidden from the media for nearly 2 decades. Diddy, heralded as a symbol of black success in America and a prominent public figure, served as the perfect shield. Any critic without a matching reputation was swiftly drowned by public support. Several lawsuits once dismissed by the media are now under FBI review from a new perspective. Perhaps some tried to sound the alarm, but no one listened. The image control system was built on financial dependence. Many young artists affiliated with Diddy received startup funds, record releases, or exclusive distribution deals. What began as opportunity often became a trap. As one investigator observed, when your career is tied to one person, silence becomes your only protection. Further evidence points to involvement from financial players and even politicians. Although names haven't been publicly released, insiders confirm the FBI has identified at least 12 individuals whose confirmed participation could shake Washington. When pulled together, from teen recruitment to secret events, foreign funding, media suppression, and enforced silence, the result is horrifying. A flawlessly concealed human exploitation network operating behind the gloss of the entertainment industry. What's most troubling is how it stayed active for years, supported by the complicity, or silence, of revered public figures. Over the past 25 years, the name Sean Diddy Combs has symbolized a meteoric rise, from obscure producer to mogul with a multi-million-dollar empire. Yet behind the glitz lurk suppressed controversies, ignored, buried, or reframed as mere media flaps. Now, with the secret basement uncovered, investigators are re-examining that questionable past. One of the earliest incidents dates to 1999, when Diddy was involved in a New York nightclub shooting while dating Jennifer Lopez. 3 were wounded. Diddy was arrested for illegal weapons possession. Media frenzy ensued, but weeks later, witnesses changed statements, physical evidence vanished, and the case quietly disappeared. Diddy was cleared. The world's attention shifted instead to J. Lo's iconic green Grammy dress. Another dark turn came in 2018 with the death of Kim Porter, model and mother of Diddy's 3 children. Officially ruled pneumonia, no investigation followed. Diddy held a lavish funeral and the public moved on. Yet, a close friend of Porter told reporters Kim had planned to speak out. "I can't stay silent anymore." Weeks before her death, she had emailed her lawyer to amend custody and estate agreements, motions dismissed as routine at the time, but now seen as crucial clues. More recently, several lawsuits filed from 2023 to 2024 by young women and artists accused Diddy of abusing his power, orchestrating secret sex parties, and employing psychological manipulation. Cassie Ventura, his former partner of nearly a decade, claimed she was financially and emotionally controlled, unable to leave due to threats. Diddy denied all accusations, and settlement agreements quickly followed, leaving many to speculate that Cassie was silenced. Now her name also appears in the basement files, raising questions about truth and deception. An ex-dancer who worked Diddy's private events detailed VIP parties attended by celebrities, business figures, and even political personalities. No one spoke up openly, but everyone knew something was wrong. If you stayed long enough, you learned the rules. You either played along or stayed silent. Other lawsuits in state courts in New York and California were filed only to be withdrawn or dismissed for lack of evidence, once seen as proof of Diddy's innocence. Now, with hundreds of documents, tech devices, and party invitations in federal hands, those earlier lacks look suspect, perhaps erased by money and influence. Observers are now asking, was Diddy truly the music genius the world believed, or the orchestrator of a professionally hidden system shielded by celebrity facade? If so, how many incidents across 2 decades were swept clean before the light of justice? A veteran journalist with 30 years covering entertainment noted, some live in the spotlight, but really pull the strings behind the scenes. Diddy could be one of them, and his mother's mansion is where the threads are beginning to unravel. These revelations not only threaten the fall of a music icon, they're forcing America to reconsider its celebrity protection systems, where even the law can be traded for a handshake behind closed doors. Currently, the FBI is exploring 5 key hypotheses as they categorize, decrypt, and cross-reference the evidence from Janice Combs's mansion. A larger, more disturbing picture is emerging, not just of what's been uncovered, but of what it could still reveal. Inside the FBI, high-level strategy meetings are no longer debating whether illegal activity occurred. They're assessing the scope of a tightly organized system with layered protection, broad participation, and expansion potential far beyond U.S. borders. The leading hypothesis is that Janice Combs's mansion served not just as static storage, but as the operational hub of an illicit, international child exploitation and trafficking network. It functioned like a distribution center, housing data, coordinating events, controlling the flow of evidence, backed by military-grade security in the basement, shielded against surveillance and tampering. Now, with encrypted devices and high-level infrastructure untangled, the FBI believes they're finally pulling apart the system from the inside. The federal investigation targeting Sean Diddy Combs has uncovered a tightly organized underground network suspected of involvement in human trafficking, exploitation of minors, and international money laundering. A raid on his mother's mansion revealed a secret basement with encrypted systems, documents, and private event invitations, pointing to the scale and sophistication of the operation. Diddy is suspected of being the public face of a larger organization operating behind the scenes. Encrypted emails with a mysterious contact and private security contracts signed by his mother have raised questions about his family's deeper involvement. The FBI is now expanding its probe to include other properties and potential political and media connections that may have helped conceal the network for over 15 years. Public backlash has been swift and intense, with outrage spreading across social media and among celebrities. Past accusations once dismissed as rumors are now being revisited as more victims and insiders speak out. While Diddy denies all allegations, the evidence suggests this may become one of the most serious scandals in American entertainment history. And this could be just the beginning.